Good morning, students. In this class we are going to discuss about valence bond theory in coordination chemistry. Assumptions of valence bond theory. Let us consider tetraamine nickel 2 ion. It is a complex cation in which Ni is a central metal atom, NH3 is a ligand, number 4 is a coordination number, plus 2 is a net charge on the complex ion. We know that net charge on the complex is equal to oxidation number of the central atom plus number of ligand into charge on the ligand. By using this formula, we can find out the oxidation number of the central atom. In this complex cation, the net charge is plus 2 is equal to oxidation number of the central atom, in this case is unknown, so it is taken as X, plus number of ligand, in this case is 4, into charge on the ligand, in this complex cation is 0, since ammonia is a neutral molecule, plus 2 is equal to X. Therefore, X is equal to plus 2. This plus 2 represents the oxidation number of the central metal atom of this complex cation. Then structure. In this complex, the central Ni plus 2 ion is surrounded by 4 bonds. Since these 4 bonds are formed by sharing of electrons between the central metal ion and ligands, this bond or these bonds are called as covalent bond. This is the first assumption of valence bond theory. It states that in a coordination compound, the bond between the central metal atom or ion and the ligand is covalent in nature. It is formed by sharing of electron between the central metal atom or ion and ligand. To make these four bonds, each ligand has an orbital containing lone pair of electrons. This is the second assumption of valence bond theory. It states that each ligand must have an orbital containing lone pair of electrons in order to make a bond between itself and the central metal atom or ion. Here, these two dots indicate lone pair of electrons. The general outer electronic configuration of the element in D block is n minus 1 into d to the power 1 to 10 ns2. Here 1 to 10 and 2 indicate number of electrons. D and S represent orbitals. N represents principal quantum number of the outermost cell. In this complex cation, the central atom is nickel. Its atomic number is 28. Write down the electronic configuration of nickel atom. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d8. We can rearrange this electronic configuration. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d8 and 4s2. Here 3d8 and 4s2 is the outer electronic configuration of nickel atom. Since this configuration resembles n minus 1 d to the power 1 to 10 ns power 2. Here n is 4. Therefore, outer electronic configuration of nickel atom is 3d power 8, 4s power 2. But in this complex cation, nickel exists in +2 oxidation state. To write down the outer electronic configuration of Na2+ ion, we should omit these two electrons. Therefore, the outer electronic configuration of Na2+ ion with atomic number 28 is 3d power 8, 4s power 0. Then outer orbitals of Ni+2 ion are 3 to the power 8, 4 is power 0. At this stage, Na plus 2 ion has only one vacant orbital. By using this vacant orbital, Na plus 2 ion can accommodate only one electron pair donated by one ligand. But in this complex cation, coordination number is 4. Number of ligand is also 4. To accommodate 3 more electron pairs donated by 3 more ligands, Na plus 2 ion requires 3 more vacant orbitals. To overcome this problem, Na plus 2 ion uses its 4p orbital. Now, number of vacant orbital of Na plus 2 ion becomes 4, that is 1 plus 3. By using these 4 vacant orbitals, Na plus 2 ion in this compound can accommodate 4 electron pairs donated by these 4 ligands. This is the third assumption of valence bond theory. It states that to accommodate electron pairs donated by the ligands, the central metal atom or ion in a coordination compound gives an available number of vacant orbitals which is equal to its coordination number. Then 1 4s orbital of Na plus 2 ion mixed with 3 4p orbitals of same Na plus 2 ion to form 4 equivalent sp3 hybridized orbitals. With same energy. These newly formed orbitals are called as hybrid orbitals, and this process is called as hybridization. This is the fourth assumption of valence bond theory. It states that vacant orbitals of the central metal atom or ion undergo a process, namely hybridization. Hybridization is the process of mixing of atomic orbitals of a comparable energy to give exactly equal number of new orbitals called hybrid orbitals. hybridized orbitals of the central metal atom or ion overlap linearly with filled ligand orbitals to form sigma coordinate bond. This is the fifth assumption of valence bond theory. It states that hybridized orbitals of the central metal atom or ion overlap linearly with filled ligand orbitals to form sigma coordinate covalent bond. The strength of the sigma coordinate covalent bond depends on the overlapping between the hybridized orbital of the central metal atom or ion and filled ligand orbital. If the overlapping between the vacant hybridized orbital of the central metal atom or ion and the filled ligand is greater, then strength of the bond will be greater. This is the sixth assumption of valence bond theory. It states that greater is the overlapping between the hybridized orbital of the central metal atom or ion and filled ligand orbitals, greater is the strength of bond. In this case, Ni plus 2 ion is tetrahedrally surrounded by 4 equivalent hybridized orbitals, namely sp3. This orientation gives a definite geometry to this complex ion. This is the seventh assumption of valence bond theory. It states that hybridized orbitals are directional in nature and its orientation and their orientation in space give a definite geometry to the complex ion. Since Ni plus 2 ion in this case is tetrahedrally surrounded by 4 sp3 hybridized orbital, the geometry of this complex ion is tetrahedral. Coordination number hybridization geometry example. If coordination number is 2, then hybridization is SP. Geometry of the complex is linear. Example, AgCN twice minus 1 ion. Dicyanide kappa C argentate 1 ion. If coordination number is 3, then hybridization of the complex is sp2, then geometry of the complex is diagonal planar. Example, Hg I3 minus 1 ion. Triiodido mercurate 2 ion. If coordination number is 4, two possible hybridization. They are DsP2 hybridization and sp3 hybridization. The geometry of DsP2 hybridization is square planar. Example, NiCN4 minus 2 ion. Tetracyanide kappa C nickelate 2 ion. If sp3 hybridization, then geometry of the complex is tetrahedral. Example, NiCO4 here d orbital involved in hybridization is dx square minus y square. Then if coordination is 5, then possible hybridization is dsp3. Here d orbital involved in hybridization is d is square. Geometry of the complex is trigonal bipyramidal. Example, FeCO5 pentacarbonyl ion 0. Then for coordination number 6, there are two hybridization are possible. They are D2 sp3 hybridization and sp3 D2 hybridization. Geometry of D2sp3 hybridization is octahedral. Here 2d orbitals involved in hybridization are dz square and dx square minus y square of inner cells. Example FeCN6 minus 4 ion, hexacyanidO kappa C ferrate 2 ion. It is on inner orbital complex. Since two d orbitals involved in hybridization of D2sp3 are dz square and d x square minus y square of inner cell. Then sp3 d2 hybridization. Geometry of sp3 d2 hybridization is also octahedral. Here 2d orbitals involved in hybridization are dz square and dx square minus y square of outer cell. Example FeF6 minus 4 ion, hexafluorido ferrate 2 ion. It is an outer orbital complex because 2d orbitals involved in sp3 d2 hybridization in this case are dz square and dx square minus y square of outer cell. In an octahedral complex, if n minus 1 d orbitals, namely dz square and dx square minus y square, are involved in hybridization, then they are called as inner orbital complexes or spin paired complexes or low spin complexes. Similarly, if nd orbitals, namely dz square and dx square minus y square, are involved in hybridization, then they are called as outer orbital complexes or spin free complexes or high spin complexes. Here n represents the principal quantum number of the outermost cell. After some time we will see some examples. In that examples we can understand about inner orbital complex and outer orbital complex. Then magnetic property of the complex. If a complex containing one or more unpaired electron, then that complex exhibits paramagnetic property. Similarly, if a complex containing only paired electrons, then that complex exhibits diamagnetic property. After some time, we will see some examples. In those examples, we can understand about magnetic property of coordination compounds. Then magnetic moment. Spin only magnetic moment of the given complex is represented by the symbol mu s. Mu s is equal to root of n into n plus 2 bm, where bm is Bohr magneton and n is number of unpaired electron. We can find out the magnetic moment of the given complex by using this formula. Some ligands have a tendency to pair up the electrons present in the central metal atom or ion. Those ligands are called as strong field ligands. Example: CO, Cn minus, En and ammonia. Similarly, some ligands have no tendency to pair up the electrons that present in the central metal atom or ion in a coordination compound. Those ligands are called as weak field ligands. Example: H2O, Cl minus, Br minus, F minus, and so on.